Welcome to another episode of our Sutta discussion series, Sutta Discovery, as PGF puts the name. Today, we are going to discuss about another path factor, noble path factor, which is called Samma Vacha, right speech. Before we get started, shall we pay respect to the Buddha? Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Namo tassa bhagavatu arahatu samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavatu arahatu samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavatu arahatu samma sambuddhassa. We are going to discuss about the noble path factor called Samma Vacha. So last Tuesday, we discussed about Samma Sankappa, right? Samma Ditti, Samma Sankappa, today Samma Vacha. Now, Samma Sankappa means right intention, right thought. When you have the right thought, then whatever the words that are coming out of your mouth going to be wholesome, skillful, or in this case, right. But where is the root of this wholesomeness? Where does wholesomeness come from? Where does the kusala nature come from? To thoughts, intention, to speech, to action. Where is the root? The root is samadhi. Okay? Means when you have the right perspective, everything is going to be okay. When you don't have the right perspective, but you are struggling to talk good words, you are trying to be good in your speech. Now, there are people who are trying to, today I'm not going to lie. Today I'm going to be very good in my speech. Then they're going to be okay only for a couple hours. They're going to be okay for a couple days. They're going to be okay for a retreat, right? But if you have the samadhi, whatever the words that are coming out of your mouth, going to be wholesome, kusala. You don't have to worry. Do you want to have the good speech by default, or do you need to have the good speech by effort every time? I had to understand, I had to think a lot about my words. Initially, we may do so, but it is a blessing that if we can talk good words by default, and whatever the words that are coming out of my mouth, your mouth, going to be truthful. And then there are other things I'm going to be asking you to during the discussion. Okay, so samadhi. Even before samadhi, I have already informed you that the starting place of the Noble Eightfold Path practice is going to be yoniso manasikara, wise attention. Because of the wise attention, you are going to have the right perspective. And because of the right perspective, rest of the path factors are going to be skillful. They are going to kick in, start because of the right perspective. Right? Now, this is why samadhi is very, very important. That is also the reason why the Buddha said, when he talks about kusalas, there are 10 kusalas, right? He said that Michcha dittim bhikkave paramam vajjani dissanti. Monks, I tell you, Michcha ditti is the worst akusala. That means wrong view is the worst akusala. That is why we have to work on the sammaditi. When you have sammaditi, right view, everything is going to be okay. Our attitude matters. Our perspective matters. All right. So, because of this right view, what we understand is we are going to have right speech as a consequence of right view. Okay. Vacha. So let's talk about vacha a little bit. Does vacha, does speech matter to us in our Dhamma practice? We have to uh, think about it in more details. Now, if you look at your life, Dhamma journey, what do you think? What is the door? We have what you call Kaya Chitta Manu. We have the body, we have the speech, we have the mind. What could be the door? What could be the way out of these three by which we may do a lot of kusalas or a lot of akusalas? Do we make more akusalas or kusalas through the speech? Or do we make more akusalas or kusalas through the body? Or do we make more akusalas or kusalas through the mind? What do you think? According to the kusala, uh, yes, according to the kusala, 10 kusalas, speech is the door by which we are making either a lot of kusala or a lot of akusala. That is why if you look at the 10 kusalas, 3 for the body, 4 for the speech, 3 for the mind. That means if you take care of your speech, you can do more kusalas. You all are concerned about doing more kusalas, right? More skillful activities, right? So in that case, if you can take care of your speech, you can make a lot of kusalas. I think a lot of people, they are not very much concerned about what you call speech. They think that action is always better, but we have to equally understand action at the same time the mind. But uh, overall, speech really matters to us. Now, when we look at the speech, what do you think? How does our speech make up? Where do the words come from? How do we make our words? According to many suttas, the Buddha says, words come from, or the speech come from, vitakka and vichara. Vitakka, vichara are 2 stages of our thoughts. Okay, they are 2 stages of our thoughts. When you are making a thought, if you look at the consistency of the what you call the what you call the thought, you will find out vitakka and vichara, because vitakka means the initial thought and vichara means the sustained thought. We will see how does it work actually in my notes. I think you may have already seen the notes. You can see over here, vitakka is the cetasika that points the mind to a given thought object. Because of vitakka, which is a part of this, part of any thought, that helps what you call pointing the mind to a given thought object. And vichara is a cetasika that keeps the mind engaged on that thought object. An example is a bee flying to a particular flower is like vitakka, right? So flower is the object, bee is flying over there. And buzzing around that flower while drinking nectar is like vichara. Okay, so these are 2 things. But the interesting thing is that vitakka, vichara both are making up the speech. Now, if you look at more things about vitakka, vichara, you will see vitakka, vichara by default are not wholesome states. But if you see avitakka or savitakka, avichara or savichara, they are going to be kusala states. Now, these are a couple of things that you learn from jhanas or abhidhamma, but we don't have to dig in more about this stuff. But I just tell you, vitakka, vichara make up your speech. Because if somebody asks, what did the Buddha say? Where does the speech come from? Vitakka and vichara. Right? That is the answer. It is like an experience. You know, in the Dhammapada, the Buddha says, Mano pubbangama Dhamma. Mano pubbangama Dhamma. What does it mean? Mano pubbangama Dhamma. That means mind is preceded by the Dhamma. But what is Dhamma here? Is it the teachings or is it thought? Here, Dhamma means an experience which makes up Sanya and Vedana, because our experiences do have Sanyas, mental noting, perceptions, and Vedana. Because we are making the mental note because we had felt something about that particular activity. So these two are our experiences. So somebody might ask, what did the Buddha talk about, or what did the Buddha say about an experience in our life? Because we have good experiences and bad experiences. All right, Sanya and Vedana. Sanya, Vedana, that means perception and sensation or feeling, make up an experience. Actually, if you look at any bad experience, any good experience, you will find these two. You had felt something. Because of that, you have noted, mentally noted that particular experience for the good sake or for the bad sake. In the same way, we have to understand where does the speech come from, just to understand. Now, let's go to our basic level of Buddhism. I would quote Panchasila, 5 precepts. If you look at the 5 precepts, you see the 4th precept is going to be Musavada, Veramani, Sikkhapadam, Samadhiya. That means not lying. I'm taking the precept of not lying. But let me ask you, is the practice of not lying an easy thing to all of you? What do you think? Is it easy easy for all of you not to lie at all times? Huh? Not on a retreat. Huh? You are so good on a retreat. Not in the temple. Not when you are in the right mood. I'm asking you, in your daily life, in your normal life, is it easy to practice not lying? You know the answer. I'm not asking. Now, when you look at Musavada, now Musavada is one of the finest forms of our good speech or bad speech. We will be discussing. There are 3 more. We have to understand how to make the good speech, right speech. This is a very interesting thing to learn, actually. When you learn Samma Vacha, maybe by the end of today, you might feel that, all right, this is a gradual practice. And if we really understand what is Samma Vacha, we can always stay consistent in our right speech. Not that you are good on a day and then you fall back to the earth. After that, you are trying to maintain it because you know what it is. You know what is supposed to do at all times. Let's go to the notes. Right. Okay. I'm not going to read all these notes because you can read them. I'm only picking up the very important facets of the Samavacha. First, let's identify about the wrong speech. There are four wrong speeches. What are they? Number 1, Musavada, lying. Number 2, Pisunavacha. And number 3, Parsavacha. And number 4, Sampappalapa. I think even though they seem to be pretty simple like this, but when you look at your normal daily life, these 4 are playing a bigger role. Probably you may not feel that. You have been able to keep you under the opposite of these 4. The first one is Musavada, lying. Pisunavacha means Pisuna means slandering or talking behind the back, maybe backbiting. Parusavacha, using hurtful words, topics, conversations, bullying other people, picking on other people, trying to hurt in whatever the language, in whatever the cultural terms, swearing and all that. Sampappalapa, gossiping, including idle chatting. A stanza from Itivuttaka. Eka dhammang atitassa musavad dissa jantun. Vitinna paralokassa natti papang akariya. For the person who breaks in one thing, I tell you, there is no evil deed not to be done. Which one thing? Is telling a intentional lie, deliberate lie. Now, the Buddha says that if somebody lies, that person can do any wrong thing. Have you seen some people who already lied to somebody and trying to make another 1,000 lies to cover up that one lie? They already made one lie, told one lie, but now that person wants to cover up that lie by saying additional 1,000, many more lies. A very challenging, very difficult thing. But you also need to understand this lying, not lying actually, not lying has to be practiced with a very specific context. What is the context? There is something called a technical lie. And the other one is non-technical lie. What is a technical lie? Now you are trying to say something that did not happen. That is technically a lie. On the other hand, the non-technical lie, that means it is a lie technically, but you know that it carries certain other issues. If you tell that at that point, there may be an argument happening, and then we don't know what's going to happen between those two people. And you are making sure the safety of those two. But one day you are trying to tell the truth. You are not going to hide it, but at the moment, maybe at that point of time, you are going to do it because you understand that there will be issues coming up if you are going to tell that. You are more concerned about everybody's safety. So these are the two things. Now, when I gave a talk about musavada, not lying, in one place, there was a question asked by somebody about white lie. That means what people do sometimes. I said that let's say there is a safety issue. So you can do a couple of things. Probably you can avoid that particular situation. Maybe you can change the topic, right? Not you coming onto that particular stage of time of the conversations, stage of the conversation. Or in the worst case scenario, you have to go for that non-technical lie because you are very much concerned about the safety of everybody. But one day when you are doing that, trying yourself to say that one day I'm going to tell this thing. I'm not going to hide it. But today I'm behaving as such because I need to take care of the life of these two people. So musavada has to be practiced with some wisdom. Huh? You need wisdom to practice all these things, all these path factors. Without wisdom, you are going to practice something not in the proper way, right? Like how some people practice sila. They don't understand why are they practicing sila, right? Musavada. And there are many other things. So try to be always truthful by nature. Then you will become someone who is very peaceful. What if that you are always making false things to other people? You are trying to lie to other people all the time. So you feel that something heavy is happening within you. There are heavy things happening within you, and you don't feel that you are connected to your true nature, right? So it's very important to be truthful. But when you are truthful, you need to understand there may be times you may have to understand that a technical lie, although technical lie is not okay, But sometimes you may have to delay telling the truth. That is how we have to learn how it is supposed to be done. On the other hand, we go to the when you go to the second akusala type of speaking, it is called pisuna vacha. Now, pisuna vacha means, as you know, dividing. I would say divisive speech. Do many people make these kind of speech? Do they divide others? There may be reasons if they do so. One thing is they are pretty ignorant about what they are talking. Are there people in this society who are talking without thinking a little bit more, thinking too much? They think whatever that comes to my mind, I have to air it. I have to say it to other people because I'm a very naturalist. I'm very open-minded. So whatever comes to my mind, I'm gonna say to other people. That might not be a good idea because we don't know what will come to your mind, right? If they are good things, they are okay. But what if that there are some very bad things come into your mind and you are telling such to other people and they might get hurt, right? Probably now in this case, pisuna vacha, there are things that are coming to your mind. Sometimes when you talk to other people, you just want to feel good about you, and then you might talk about other people. You might badmouth about others. This happened. That person did this thing. This person did this thing. And then now the conversation is moving toward kind of a very an area where you are bad mouthing about other people, right? So that's why we have to understand whenever we talk with anybody, whether our speech is going to unite other people, always keep others together, or are we trying to rip them apart? Are we trying to separate these people? How many people in this society have been ripped apart because of other people's bad mouthing? Other people get to believe others. We don't have enough trust in other people. So it's very important to talk words that are always helping others to stay connected, right? So that you need a lot of wisdom to talk like that, right? Practice a lot of wisdom, right? Otherwise, you may talk and people might be divided. Politicians do that job really good because they want votes. The more that they separate people, the more votes are coming up, right? Will not get together and they don't think together, they're getting votes. But you, as an individual, as a Buddhist, as somebody who wants to learn the Buddha's true teachings, you cannot do that. You always have to be careful whenever you talk. Am I dividing this person from somebody? Am I separating this person from somebody? Am I breaking their friendships? Am I breaking their relationships? So this is very important, right? So always try to take some extra care whenever you talk to other people, whether is this speech leading to pisuna vacha. Now, okay, an interesting thing, how the Buddha acted on pisuna vacha, right? Now, remember, when the Buddha said that I would pass away in 3 more months, right? Just before he passed away, a lot of monks started, being very worried about this thing. They were worried about who will be our teacher after you passed away. The Buddha said, don't worry, don't. There will be no teacher in person. That means this Buddha Sasana cannot be run by another person. There is no successor. The Buddha could have said that, Arahan Mahakashyapa will come out of the forest and he will take the leadership. He didn't say that. He knew it would happen. He did not pass this on to another monk. Anyways, now at that point, there were a lot of unenlightened monks, Sangha members. Both monks and nuns, they started being very sad about what is going to happen. We call it Soka, S-O-K. Arahants, they came up with another state of It's not unhappiness. It's not dosa. They had a mental state called Sangvega, Dhamma Sangvega. Now I don't know in today's time, some people are attributing this to spiritual urgency. That is a commentarial expression. Sangvega is not urgency, spiritual urgency. But this is kind of a commentarial expression. But originally, Sangvega means the mental state that an Arahant and onwards, Arahants, Pacceka Buddhas are not appearing when the Samma Sambuddhas are there. The kind of the feeling that Arahants are having when the news that the Buddha was going to pass away comes to them, then they are having this Dhamma Sangvega. They are not having dosa, they are not having soka, but they just feel, oh, this great person is going to pass away now. I think the service might be limited after this passing away. Right? This kind of a very wise understanding about. So, anyways, now unenlightened monks, and they started being very sad. And they noticed there was one monk called Dhammarama. Maybe I'm going to type his name for you. His name was Dhammarama. Okay. The other unenlightened monks noticed this monk Dhammarama doesn't seem very sad about this statement that the Buddha would pass away in 3 months. So they were not happy. Yeah? Now, this happens. Always unenlightened people have a lot of problems about other people, even among the devotees also. Right? They are very worried about why is that person behaving as such. So they were reporting to the Buddha, Bhante, you said that you would pass away in 3 months, but that particular monk is not sad about it. Of course, it's not a problem. They told the Buddha. The Buddha knew what was going on. But I'm just trying to tell you that he does not listen to the gossipers. He does not simply listen to the bad mouthers. So he said, all right. But he knew, but he wants to tell people what is really going on. He said, ask that monk to come and see me. Now they told Monk Dhammarama, the Buddha is talking to you. So can you go and see him? And he went. And then the Buddha asked, what's going on? And then he said, Bhante, now you already mentioned you would pass away in 3 months. So I thought I would give you the best gratitude. I want to be really, truly grateful in the best way. So I was thinking how to be very grateful to you in the best possible way. The best way is to attain Nibbana before you pass away. Then I am doing the best gratitude to you. The Buddha said, sadhu, sadhu. And he said, there are 2 types of people. One group is doing the Amisa Puja. Those who are going to the temple and offering flowers and all these things. And the other type of people are called Patipatti Puja, practice. Now don't get wrong, and you might think we don't need to offer flowers to the Buddha. The Buddha said, yes, you may need to start off this practice by offering, by respecting. But the true practice, I did not attain the Buddhahood just to get flowers from the people, just to get the candles from the people. I attained this Buddhahood after many, many, many lives because I wanted to tell people the truth. You are one of them. Now you are trying to become an Arahant before I pass away. So I tell everybody, you all have to take this example, take this as an example, and then practice it. That is my wish. Now, although this is a different story to our discussion, I was trying to tell you, when people told something to the Buddha, Buddha does not make decision. He's asking them to come and then openly talks to them. So there is no miscommunication happening. Now look at your life. Look at our life. There are a lot of misunderstandings happening when you don't talk to other person. You only simply accept something that somebody is telling you, that you believe. So let's learn from the Buddha's life. When somebody is bad mouthing, let's do a little bit of search. Talk to them. Let's talk to them properly. So we can then minimize Pisunavacha. Sometimes other people are doing Pisunavacha. Then you are doing another akusala. Now, that person is making Pisunavacha, that person is slandering or talking behind the back. But then with that, you are going to make another akusala by believing a lie. Telling a lie and believing a lie, they both are akusalas. Now, you may only know that telling a lie is an akusala. What about believing in akusala without doing some search about that particular thing? It is also an akusala. Because you are going to make decisions on that. So, from today onwards, when somebody calls and tells you, hey, that person told me something about you, let's not make decision at that point in the first place. We'll do our own search. We'll talk to people. We'll reduce the miscommunications so that we are able to stop what you call Visunavacha things. And Buddha did that in many places. When people are saying things to him about some monks, others, he always asks them to come. Let's talk. Let's have a talk. That is a very good thing to learn from the Buddha's life. In today's world, we don't do that. We think, no, we cannot talk to this person. He's a difficult person, So we should not talk to this person. But according to Buddha, we have to learn from him. If we can talk to that person, let's talk to them and then reduce our miscommunication so that there are no people who can slander. Why there can be people who are slandering? Because there are people who are believing in those people who are doing Pisunavacha. If we are very wise, we know what to do. Okay? That is the second akusala that somebody can make through Pisunavacha. Third one is Parusavacha. Parusavacha means this one. Parusavacha. Parusavacha. Using hurtful words. Does it happen in our life, Dhamma folks? Are the people that you are with trying to pick on you? Are the people you are with, they are trying to use swear words on you? Are the people with you trying to demean you? Are the people trying to around beyond far away place going to say very hurtful words to you? It can happen anyway in today's world. Now, in today's world, people, especially our younger generation, they can get frustrated easier than our older generations. They are going to swear very fast. Why is it? The patient level has gone down in today's world. If you look at our older generation, they can take things a little harder. I mean, they can at least have some patience. But especially our younger generation today's life, they are not able to be patient that much. So they are releasing some frustration words. They are releasing some swear words. There are good people too. There are some good young youth too. But mostly, because why? Everything is quick, instant, quick. I want to say something, if I want to order something, I'm going to go to the internet and order. In that quick, rapid kind of society, it is very difficult for many people to tolerate. So they might easily release their frustration. As Buddhists, can we release our frustration? Of course, there may be reasons for many people to be frustrated. But are we supposed to release our frustration with bad words as people who are following the Buddha's path? We are not supposed to. We should find a better way to discuss about it. This is also a problem when we don't have a proper communication, proper understanding. whereby all these things are happening. Now, if you uh, look at now, I actually hear a lot of stories of many people when they say, I I'm really abused by my close people, and then they pick on me, they bully me emotionally. Then I ask, have you ever had a chat about this thing with them? No, no, no. I don't want to. I don't want to. So, how are we going to solve this issue? Can you go away from them? No, I cannot. They are in my household and they are my relatives. They are my family. And nothing is going to be possible. But they are expecting sometimes that, okay, everything is anicca, impermanent. Everything is dukkha. Everything is anatta. So let's bear it. That is a wrong way of looking at it. I mean, yes, everything you can see anicca, dukkha, anatta. But there are lots of Buddhist things we can do in order to understand this hurtful nature, disrespect, and others minor major stuff that are coming from other people, right? Now, remember that story of a cobra. It's a story in the uh, Buddha Nikaya, I guess. In this story, uh, there was a snake, actually, cobra, who went to a hermitage, and he told, at that time, they said in the Jataka stories also that animals used to talk in whatever the ways. Uh, he said to the tapasa, uh, the hermit, uh, dear hermit, I want to take precepts. And then the hermit said, you are a cobra, you cannot keep the precepts, so just forget about it. No, no, no. I'm trying to uh, practice. So please give me the precepts. And then finally, he gave the 5 precepts. But after the snake took the precepts, he was trying to go somewhere, and then he got stuck in a stack of firewood. There was a farmer who was piling a stack of firewood. He got stuck in there. Now he cannot do anything. He thinks to himself, I took precepts. I cannot do anything. Like some of our Dhamma friends, huh? They got stuck in the problem. They are not finding a way out because I cannot do, it's 5 precepts. Noble Eightfold Path. There are lots of things they can do, but they think to themselves, no, I cannot do anything. Like that cobra. And then, anyways, so that farmer was adding a lot of firewood into that stack. Now he was really stuck inside the uh, stack of firewood. He brought that onto his house. When he dropped the stack of firewood, he saw a tail was wagging at the end. Oh, really? I brought a snake too at the same time. So he took another stick, and then he was just trying to clear out some area of the fire. He saw, oh, there's a long, big snake. Was trying to go. Initially thought a cobra, and because he did not show any anger, he thought maybe a rattlesnake. Didn't do any harm. So, anyways, now this cobra summoned some courage and then just trying to go somewhere. At that time, there was a kind of a custom that when people take precepts, anybody, they have to go see the teacher at the end of the day to report the progress of the precepts. How have they've been practicing the sila? What are the setbacks? Have they been experiencing? What are the progressive things that they have been learning? Not like today, huh? Today you take the precept, then you never go see a teacher, and you don't know what is going on. Anyways, then from afar, the hermit saw the snake is coming, and he asked from afar, all right, how is your precept practice today? He said, look what happened to me. I was really practicing my Sila 5 precept, but look what happened to me. I didn't do anything, but see what happened to me. When I'm good, other people are bad on me. There was only one day I was trying to be good. All the others I was not good to others. I was okay. But today I was good. This thing happened to me. And then he knew what was going on. And he said, Hermit told this snake an idea. The idea is that according to the precepts, you cannot bite, thereby people will be dead. But when the farmer was trying to stack you, you could have shown him, displayed him that I am a snake. Then he would have let you go. But you didn't do that. So he stacked you up, he brought you there. So that means in our life, sometimes when bad people are trying to be mean to us, we may have to show that we are powerful, we are strong, so they will go away. But if you don't show, they will keep doing, keep being mean on you. They're gonna pick on you, keep picking on you. So as a Buddhist, as someone who is following the path, you cannot be vulnerable to bad people. You are not supposed to be vulnerable to any bad person. You have to be strong, but you can't make a mistake in that practice. So when you show that you don't like it, and then they will mostly go away. But if you are trying to be submissive, like that cobra, and you will end up with a lot of bad experiences. All right. So when somebody is mean to you with words, how are you going to face that person? That is a question. You can do many things. Huh? You can avoid, probably you could change the topic. Maybe you are not going to argue with that person, right? You are not trying to talk back, right? But you are not going to remind about metta to that person. I mean, somebody is so angry and metta might not work, right? To either one. So anyways, not talking any hurtful words is what you call the absence of the third mistake, parusavacha. Finally, sampappala. I think this is one of the very largely ignored akusala that many people are making. What is sampappalapa? Sampappalapa has to be understood in a very interesting context. Sampappalapa means that you are not trying to waste your speech. Your speech is very important. Whatever the words that you are using, you are trying to understand that these words, these speeches, these conversations are really truthful. They are very meaningful to other people from a wholesome, from a kusala perspective. Now, simply beneficial nature of a conversation might not work. Maybe there are two gossipers, A gossiper, B gossiper. A gossiper picks up the phone and calls the B gossiper and talks all the beneficial things about the gossiping. It's not just being beneficial. This means that you are talking beneficial things in terms of kusala perspective. You are not wasting time. And at the same time, you are trying to understand that how to help out somebody in their Dhamma practice, right? It doesn't mean that you can't talk your worldly, secular things, but you are very much mindful about what you are talking. Another area of gossiping is idle chatting, that you are not simply wasting your time. You always say that there are people who are trying to think that, all right, now 9:17, we have another 10 minutes, let's talk something. I mean, this kind of approach of just wasting time might not be okay, because it's going to be idle chat. So you are going to be concerned about these 4 forms. Now let's see the good side of these 4. We are trying to be truthful all the time. Truthfulness is such a very important thing. Why is it? It is said that Deva like people who speak the truth all the time. Right? Deva, non-humans, like people who speak the truth. Because it is said that if you want to become a Deva easily, there are 3 things to do. The first thing is Satchang Bhani, speak the truth. Nakujjaya, do not be angry. Anger will not help you to become a Deva if you want to be a Deva. Then Dacca pasmimpi yachito, give what you can. These three things are helpful for you to become a Devani. So that means always try to speak the truth. But there may be times that you may not be able to be technically truthful, but non-technically you are truthful because you are trying to make sure that everybody is safe. But one day you are going to tell the truth, because sometimes you have to protect yourself, protect other people. You are not misleading other people like how people lie, but you are going to protect others. The safety is important too, right? And then the kusala side of what you call pisuna vacha is, whenever you talk, always talk to keep people together. Never talk anything that is going to uh, lead to a separation of two people. Good friendships, marriages, relationships, always be concerned about it. So whenever you talk, you know how to talk. Then what are the things that you are going to talk, right? Unless you have a problem like dementia and all that, right? Sometimes when you are getting old, you don't have a good vocabulary. You are thinking what to talk now. I don't know what to talk. I mean, unless otherwise, if you don't have a cognitive problem, always try to speak naturally in a way how to keep everybody together. Because there are many people who, when they are talking, they are not very organized. Because of their disorganized nature of their ideas, they are trying to keep people away. And then, actually, this will come to you as a karma, okay? As a karma vipaka, it will come to you. So one day, let's say you are having a very good married life, very good relationship, and then it will be broken as a result of that. There are many stories in the Sutta Pitaka where people were experiencing results of those separations. That is what you call by the opposite of Pisunavacha. Always speak words, conversation, topics, strike conversations, bring up conversation, talk, tell things that other people always can keep their unity. Other people can always keep their dearly cordial relationships, including you. Right? Sometimes you talk to other people, your relationship also going to be broken because of what you say. It happens even in your household. You don't think twice and you talk, and then the people you are with, they are going to be unhappy about you. And then sorry might not work at the end. Yeah, because you make this mistake all the time. Now, sorry has been abused all the time. Apology has been abused all the time. So always try to think a little bit so you can avoid these unnecessary issues in your household, in other places, even among your relatives, friends. Third thing, the opposite of what you call parusavacha. How to talk dearly, cordial, pleasant, charming words. When you have sammaditi, it is also going to work out. That means you are all, when you are talking, all your words are going to be very charming, pleasant, peaceful. That is why you are going to listen to a Buddhist monk. That is why you are going to listen to an inspirational person. Now, when somebody is talking like that, everybody likes that person. Even animals like people who are talking good words to them. Right? Have you seen some animals? They are running away when some people are. They are very scared of these people, the way how they talk. This happens. This can happen to humans too. When some persons are coming to your places, you are running away. I don't like this person. But this person is talking very bad words. Yeah, the way how they talk, they are very hurting other people. So always try to talk charming, pleasant, kind words. But be careful. There may be bad people too. When you are very kind to them, they might misuse you. By understanding who they are, you are going to properly practice speaking good words. That means when a bad person comes, you are not going to talk hurtful words. You will know in what layer of good words I am going to talk to this person. But anyways, your speech is going to be charming, pleasant, kind, nice, right? That is very important. And the fourth thing is the opposite of gossiping. always think that I'm not going to waste my precious time. I'm always going to either help out other people with my speech, or I'm not going to uh, abuse my speech in the form of just bad mouthing, just engaging in conversations that are not really spiritually, even wordly helpful in that ethical way. Yeah? Now, let's say there are a lot of worldly matters that you can do in a good way, in a wholesome way. Your life, your work, your friends, right? You don't have to be non-virtuous to say that I practice the opposite of some papala. There are a lot of worldly, secular matters that you can talk to other person. When we explain Sambhappalapa, there are people who misunderstand. That means this Bhante is saying that I have to always talk to people about spirituality. No, not necessarily. Even worldly matters, but that worldly matter, particular worldly matter, or whatever the worldly matter, has to be discussed in a way you are going to help out that person virtuously. Let's say there is a problem in their life. Let's say they want to know something. Let's say they need some guidance from you. Let's say they want to share something that happened to their family. So you are looking at it, you are going to help out with good intention in the proper ethical way. Not necessarily you are supposed to always talk spiritual, and that will be really boring too. Huh? Every time I talk to my friend, they're talking about Noble Eightfold Path, Sila, Samadhi, Panya. It's really boring. I mean, we have to balance out that. Even the worldly matters, when you are supposed to talk, but in a way you are going to help out them with a lot of kindness, a lot of compassion, a lot of metta, a lot of mudita. Now, let's say your friend is sharing, you see, that families, this particular person has been going through a good time in his or her studies, in his or her work life, in his or her marriage. Then now your friend is sharing with you about another family with you. At that point, what you are going to do is you are practicing mudita. How nice is that? What a good family. Huh? You are happy about it. Heart full of happiness. You are thinking about it. A moment to practice mudita. But there may be another person who might take, how come they are so successful? Huh? How come they are like that? I'm also like this, but I have not been able to be as such. They are bringing on one side uh, Sampappalapa, on one side, the opposite of mudita, which is called issa, jealousy. Couple bad akusalas are coming. So when we talk about Sampappalapa, what you need to understand is you can still you have to definitely engage in some worldly conversations, but when you are engaging in worldly conversations with anybody, friend, whoever, you are trying to help out with lots of kindness, lots of compassion, mudita, and finally upekka. You don't need to always talk about spirituality. When things are rising about spirituality, please talk that too, but never ever uh, make other people boring about your conversations. I mean, this can happen, you know. Oh, this person is coming today. I think our conversation is going to be very boring. Always talking something monotonous, right? So you have to be careful about that too. All right. Now, Samma Vacha means you are always trying to be truthful in your speech. You are always trying to keep people together. You are wishing all the time. May everybody, uh, may everybody maintain their relationship, friendships together, right? Because there are people who expect this friendship must be torn, must be stopped. Now, when that thought arises in their mind, what is happening is that they are going against this metta practice. The Buddha said, Naparo paranni kubbeta nati manyeta kaptachinan kanchi vyarosana panikasanya nanya manya sadukkamiki. When you advance your metta practice, you cannot ever think pain, what you call a kind of a separation uh, of other person's happiness. No, let no one expect suffering, pain about other persons. Right? That means uh, Pisuna Vacha means to all of us, the opposite of Pisunavacha means to us is a very good attitude. That means that we are going to embrace what you call uh, what you call the nature of keeping people together, accepting the unity of others, accepting the existence of others, right? Acceptance, the presence of others. We are not going to separate them. We are not going to keep them away. This nature has to be always cultivated, right? This is how we're going to practice the second one. Third one, always trying to speak good words, always concerned. Maybe at the end of the day, have I hurt somebody today? Have I hurt this person? Have I hurt myself? Right? So thinking in multiple ways to make sure that your speech has not hurt anybody, including yourself. So then your speech will be good. It will be good by default. You don't need to try separately, right? And then finally, you are always thinking, am I engaging bad mouthing, unnecessary conversations that are not helping anybody, not even spiritually, as I said earlier. It doesn't need to be specifically necessary to be spiritually engaged in conversation. Be that spirituality matters, be that a matter of any worldly thing, but you are trying to help out. You are going to use that time preciously, wisely. All right. In addition to understanding the opposite of these four, the wrong speech, Michavacha, then you are going to practice Sammavacha. We are going to learn something very interesting here. Noble silence. Okay, let's talk about it. Silence. Now, I think probably a couple decades ago, there was somebody who started silent meditation retreats from India, which has been very popular for 9-10 days. Now, silence is a very important practice in Buddhism, but it is not the mere silence. Now, householders like you, in your household, when you have an argument with your better other half, you may be not talking to them for the whole day. That is not the Buddhist practice. It has come to a place that you think that, no, I don't need to talk to this person. Why should I talk? He or she hurt me today. I'm not going to talk. I'm letting them to feel guilty about it. So they will come up and talk to me. It is not that kind of silence. This is called noble silence, called tunhi bhav. Pali word is tunhi bhav. Let me write that for you. Silence, the word for silence in Pali means tunhi bhav. But the Buddhist way of practicing silence is called ariyo. Ariya tunhi bhav. You know the word ariya. Tunhi bhav, which means noble silence. All right. Now, time to time, we need to practice noble silence. Why is it? When we take some time for us, we can really check in with our life, with our words, with our thoughts, with our actions. How is my practice? Is my practice aligning with the Buddha's Noble Eightfold Path? So we need a certain type of silence, right? But not becoming somebody who doesn't like to socialize with others. Then you can't keep up with the Kalyana Mitras. Seclusion is necessary, but not in a way you're going to become an introvert, that you are not talking to others, you are trying to dislike the society, dislike other people. It is not like that. You still keep up, but time to time you take a I time, me time, like a self time, just to think about, is my practice really aligning with this Noble Eightfold Path? Am I really talking the good words? Am I really doing the proper actions? Am I really having the right thoughts? Am I really having the samadhi? That kind of a checking is important, self-checking. Other people don't check you in. In this practice, other people don't check you in. They only guide you. It's like a self-check-in now that you will understand by yourself. So in order for you to do that self-checking with your words, whether am I talking the truthful words, whether am I talking the united speech, whether am I talking charming, pleasant, beneficial talks to other people, whether am I not wasting time really, what do you call, helping other people in their life in my conversation. In order for you to do that, time to time, you need some noble silence in your household. Probably, maybe a couple minutes, maybe an hour, right? So, it is a part of Sammavacha too. Actually, when we keep talking all the way, we might lie at a certain point. When you stop talking at a certain time, then you will know uh, what is it like to talk like that. You know, we need a break. We we need a break to our speech. So that is why there is another Pali word called mitabhani. This is also an interesting Pali word. I will explain to you. Mitabhani. Mitabhani means someone who talks in moderation. This is interesting. Mitabhani. Have you seen people who are always talking, 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 talking? They want to talk. Very noisy people. Huh? And there are people who are saying, excuse me, I am a noisy person. Please excuse me. But the problem is that if we have a nature of talking a lot, that might lead up to Michavacha. Might. We may. So sometimes when you keep talking, you might not respect other people also. Let's listen to other people more, talk less. If you can practice this in a household, a lot of problems will be diminished. Right? So mitabani, be a mitabani, talk in moderation. Don't talk a lot, don't talk a lot, don't talk less. Be, be a moderate talker. Right? So that is also a very interesting thing, which I have noted in the notes. Practice Ariyovatunhibhav, which means mitabani. I have given sort of idea over here, probably. Yeah, over here. What is talking in moderation? The Buddha instructs us to abstain from two extremes. And he advises us to follow the noble eightfold path. That is to say, the middle path. As a result, the middle path, doing all good things in moderation, also applies to our speech. Majjhima Patipada not only applies to our life, but also applies importantly to our speech. When someone speaks with moderation, not too little, not too much, that person is speaking with moderation. Right? That is also interesting. So we can become a mitabani person. All right. This is a self-check-in again. Vacha Sutta Majjhima Anguttara Nikaya 518. Time to time, when you have a seclusion time, your time, do this. Do I speak or did I speak at the right time? Or do I speak at the right time or not? Will I speak at the right time? Do I or did I, will I speak of facts or not? Truth. Do I, did I, will I speak gently or harshly? Affection, affection actually. Do I, did I, will I speak profitable words? That means profitable means beneficial spiritually, worldly to other people without being non-virtuous. Do I, did I, will I speak with a kind heart or inwardly malicious? And this is very important. Kind heart. In today's world, there may be lots of people who have lots of knowledge about the Dhamma, but the problem is the kindness. Do they have a really truthful, what do you call, that heartiest kind of nature in their Dhamma practice? I think we need kind people nowadays, a lot of kind people. Because when you are kind, you will be grateful, your wisdom will properly arise. But if you just try to, uh, keep yourself only with knowledge about the Dhamma, things might not work out. You need a certain knowledge, But as you gain the knowledge, you must more focus on kindness, compassion. That's why the Buddha, every morning when he wakes up, he's going to look at, who am I going to help today in my practice? Those people who are trying to be very serious about their practice, are they ever thinking about as such? From early morning, who am I going to help today? Or there are people who are thinking, who am I going to be mean on today? Who am I going to do bad things today? So this is really an important practice. Every morning, try to think when you wake up, while you are doing your own meditation, who am I going to help out today? So that is a very kind, compassion thought that will really help you walk through your Dhamma path every day. So here, when you are trying to look at your speech, these 5 are self-checking with your speech. Do that all the time, maybe when you have a seclusion time too. And this is very interesting too. I always mention that Ambalattika Rahulu the Sutta, Majjhima Nikaya 61, reflection. Reflect before talk, reflect during talk, reflect after talk. So you will minimize lots of akusalas. All right, this is Samma Vacha. This Samma Vacha is possible when you have Samma Ditti. Everything is going to be possible. Now we will take time for the Q&A.
I have a questions regarding the story of the Dhammarama. I heard of this story of the monk Dhammarama, but I never managed to find which sutta was it taken from, because I don't see that in the Mahaparinibbana Sutta, which I think is relevant to the Buddha's eventual demise, but I cannot find that story in the sutta. So is it taken from sutta or Atthakatha?
It should be in the Dhammapada, one of the Dhammapada stories.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Dhammapada stories actually. It should be in the Mahaparinibbana, because Mahaparinibbana Sutta's second part was added after the Buddha passed away. This is a very, very debatable, arguable sutta actually. First part, Buddha is there as the person of first person. Second part, they are talking about how did the monks distribute his relics and how did it happen. So it was a later addition. Yes, it should be in one of the Dhammapada stories.
Thank you, Bhante.
Yes. Okay, we got a question here. Bhante said, Devas like people who speak the truth, who don't get angry, and you missed the third one. All right. This is a Dhammapada stanza 2. The first one is speak the truth. Second is not become angry. Third one is give what you can. So it is said that if you can practice these 3, and you are guaranteed a Deva life. This is what we know. But these 3 things are very challenging than we see this actually, because speaking the truth might be possible. Anger is a big issue because Devas don't like people who get angry. But Devas themselves become very angry. You know that? When they become Deva, they become angry. And Devas, one of the reasons why Deva die in the Deva world is they are extremely angry. Anyways, the third one is give what you can. That means be generous in whatever the way. You don't need to have lots of money to become generous. If you have lots of money, you be generous in your own way. And if you don't have lots of money, you become generous in your own way. It's like paying tax. Those people who make lots of money, they pay a lot. They pay tax. They pay lots of tax. And those people who are earning little, they pay relevant tax. So be generous in your own way as much as you can. That is the third one. But now don't think that we all need to become devas, again going to lengthen our sansara. But this is a way. If somebody really honestly looking for this, there is a way.
Thank you, Bhante. Bhante,
Yes.
there's a question from Sister Vite in the chat as well. So does noble silence include the samavacha on the inner chat and thoughts?
Oh, I missed that actually. I actually given in the notes. I want to emphasize this thing too. Inner chatter. Now we have to look at two types of speeches that are happening in our life. One is the technical speech, absence of musavada, absence of pisuna vacha, absence of parusa vacha, absence of sampappala. This is very technical. You can see when people are making that. But there is another speech that is happening all the time. We call it inner chatter. Now, when you see somebody, you are not talking, but your inner chatter is talking. Oh, this might be a bad person. I had imagined this will become bad, and I have to think as such. But you are not making the speech, but your inner chatter is always active. Why is it happening? Because of your sanya, your perceptions have gone to that level. So what are we supposed to do? When a lot of inner chatting happening, we have to be realistic about it. I don't need to be subjective a lot. I have to be objective as well. Because just because I was with a bad person, I encountered problems with bad people, I don't have to internalize. I don't have to, uh, you know, think that everybody else is the same. If it is so, my sanya has been very strong, uh, wrongly distorted. We call it sanya vipallas. Pali word is sanya vipallas. Call it a distortion of. This is what is happening to our inner chatting. Distortion of sanya vipallas. So I have to always think that our sanyas are always trying to distort the reality. So I'm thinking my inner chatter may be helpful for me to sort of understand, but I'm not letting it take myself over, take my objectivity aspect on. So inner chatter will happen depending on how trained yourself, how trained you are in terms of your thoughts. But when you are training yourself with your speech, with your thoughts, inner chatter will be very manageable, will be under you. So don't worry about it.
Thank you very much, Bhante. Thank you,
Yeah.
Vite. Ashton.
Right. Any other questions about Samma Vacha, or maybe a question about Noble Path practice so far? Maybe you have been very extra careful about your speech. That's why you might now make a question. Samma Vacha has been very tough on me. Okay, so Bhante, so we should practice positive to ourselves. Positive speech. I would say wholesome speech. Samma Vacha, I mean wholesome speech. That means we are trying to think about what we talk. I think that's very important. Reflect before we talk, not just. I mean, if you are part of a Toastmasters club, I mean, you might be asking to do an impromptu speech. Just go and then talk whatever comes to your mind. But I mean, if you are really thinking about your life in terms of spirituality, then you are trying to think a little bit more before you are talking. Yes, so wholesome speech. We are supposed to practice wholesome speech because a lot of people make akusala not with actions primarily. They make lots of akusalas with their speech. That is why right speech matters a lot. Is noble silence equals to second jhana? I don't think so. Jhana is a different practice which comes at the end around samadhi. This is becoming a normal good person actually. Jhanas, all right. In jhanas, you are primarily trying to go away from akusalas, but for a different purpose, what you call mental bliss. Noble Eightfold Path practice is much, much, much higher than the jhana practice. Jhana practice was done by the Hindu people initially. So, Noble Eightfold Path is the highest practice. It goes beyond all these contemporary pre-Indian practices. I'm trying to liken it to the law of attraction. Think good thoughts to attract. Yeah. There are things that are coming subordinate subsequently. We're not worried about it. We are worried about whether we make the right speech. Let's say you are talking very pleasant words. What is happening immediately? A lot of people are going to like you. They want to talk to you. They want to be with you. The right speech. The opposite also can happen. When you are, there may be some bad people who are talking good things to trap other people, like scammers. Right? Scammers talk very good things nowadays. They phone you and they say different things, you get trapped. So when other people talking good things, you have to know whether this person is truly talking the good words. Intention side too. Otherwise, there are scammers nowadays. They are talking good words, but their intention is something different. Like a marketing sammavacha. People who are marketing sammavacha. Oh, we are talking good, like, marketing a product. So we have to understand whether is this coming from their true nature or not too. It takes time. When checking my mind on the tendency to lie or making excuses, it often points to my face value or ego. How do I keep my ego in check? All right. I think we are going to check. We are not checking our mind. We are not checking our mind. It is a very complicated process. We are checking whether we are making akusala or not. I think in order to do that, you don't need to have lots of issues with ego. Because the moment you are trying to understand whether you are personally making akusala or not, I think that helps you to lower your self perspective. Because if you look at the person who is going to lie, the person who is going to hurt, the person who is going to backbite, talk behind the back, or break other people, friendship, relationships, the person who is gossiping, these people always have a high ego. They don't like to accept their problem. So the moment that you are shifting this perspective, I want to make sure that whether I'm a good person in my speech, I think that shift is going to reduce yourself also. So we cannot say that you may develop ego in that, because we understand Sakkaya Ditti is also a problem. In this practice of spirituality, we understand Sakkaya Ditti is the first issue that we are going to work out. So I don't think that you will go to higher ego in your practice of making sure whether you are having kusala or akusala thoughts. Don't check the mind. You are checking akusala, kusala in terms of thoughts, speech, and actions. Because if you are going to check a certain sense faculty, it might be a problem. Right, we got a couple of questions. Good evening. Yeah, when people pick on us when we are doing good deeds, jealous of us when we are successful, besides forgiving them and send loving kindness, what else could we do? Do something that the hermit asked the cobra to do. Don't become vulnerable to the bad people. The hermit told the cobra, When you are practicing good things, there may be people who are trying to pick on you, bully you. At that point, don't think that the Buddha asks us to be submissive to the bad people. At that point, you have to be smart and wise how to survive, how to deal with that person in the proper way. Now, let me ask you: you are going to a certain public place. There is a mentally sick person. What are you going to do? Are you going to turn back and go home? What are you going to do at that point? There's a meeting. Everybody is supposed to be there, but you feel that the person who is next to you is a mentally sick person. How would you behave? How would you act on that person? You probably change the seats. You probably go away a little bit farther, but you still in the meeting. You are doing, these are common sense stuff. In the same way, when you are practicing good things, there may be people, don't worry about them. You just have to shift, change the place, change the conversation, maybe walk away, maybe stay silent. If they are going to be a little serious on that, try to find survival techniques, and then you're going to survive in that moment of your happiness. But if they are trying to keep picking up on you, you have to be wise on what to do next, but never ever become a victim of that particular bad person's activity. Is constructive criticism considered right speech? Yes, if you have good intention. There are people who are doing that for different reasons. But if you have good intention, yes. What is it? Please talk. I think let's take only this question and then we will wrap this up because of the timing. People talk unwholesome things and you know it is wrong. Oh, I think there are a lot of abbreviations. Maybe I will try to understand your abbreviated language. If they are maybe our siblings, we have an obligation to explain it is wrong. Maybe how do we do it, especially when they feel they have a right to think and do the wrong? Okay, now what I understand is that what I understand is that there are people who are becoming mean to us. Maybe they are coming from our family backgrounds and we know it is wrong, not good. Okay, now I think you are asking how to respond to them. I think how to respond to our loved ones, because you think that we cannot do much. Actually, it is a case-by-case problem. We don't know the reasons of why they are behaving so, but we can do certain things. One thing is, in your metta practice early in the morning, you need to include them in your metta practice. There are many people who are doing metta meditation every morning. They never put the difficult people in their family in that metta practice. They put everybody else in the world, but they exclude them. Then they are coming and asking us, Bhante, I've been practicing metta, but every day these people are becoming difficult to me. Every day they are becoming more difficult to me. Then I asked, did you include them in your morning meditation? No, I can't do that. I didn't do. Then this is the problem. Bring them into your metta practice, so they might feel your metta. This is one thing. Second thing is, probably you may have problems too. The way how you deal with them, how you talk to them, conversations, what are you going to be with them? So you can look at all these channels and then you can think about a better plan in how to deal with them.